Megan here. Thank you for joining me in this series. I'm really excited in like a really marketing nerd kind of way to talk about this. So last week I talked about how my best post, both blog and video of all time, has been picking my Instagram scheduler and which one was right for me. Before, it was Planoly, because Planoly had all of the things that I was looking for to some extent. There's an asterisk there. But now that Facebook has opened up auto post to any app that wants it, it's really leveled the playing field. And is Planoly still going to work for me, or is there something that's better? So throughout this whole series, we're going to go through in depth different apps, talk about their pros and cons, and figure out which one I'm going to go with and which one is best for you. So just to recap, today we're doing Planoly versus Plann. Plann was always my second runner-up when it came to Instagram scheduling apps because they had such good data analytics. And what I want to do is revisit them first before we hit up later and talk about, am I going to go with them or am I going to stick with Planoly? Just to recap, the things that I need for my business when it comes to Instagram scheduling: bulk upload features, first comment capabilities, auto post, hashtag repository, which just means a collection of hashtags that I have easy access to so I don't have to, copy and paste them all the time, and data analytics. Did I already say data? If I already said that, I apologize. Data analytics. As a marketer, I need to know what's being successful and what isn't. And Plann, back when I was doing my first evaluation, had so much better analytics than Planoly, but that auto post feature was just, that was my breaking point. I needed something that did auto post. So without further ado, let's get into Planoly versus Plann and talk about which one is going to be best for me and maybe for you. Let's get to it.
Okay, so we're going to start with Planoly since that is the one that I am most familiar with and the one that I currently have a subscription to. So here is the main landing page, I guess, of when you sign into a Planoly account. You can see that your calendar view is here, and it also shows you a bunch of different times along with the unscheduled posts that you have already done on the left. You have not scheduled, but are there in draft mode. So the things that I love about Planoly is that you can do bulk uploads, which I'm going to do here just to show you an example. Put a couple of images together. You can either upload them as 4 posts, multiple posts, or you can upload it as a carousel. Just FYI that Planoly, and I believe most Instagram schedulers, cannot auto post carousels or videos over 1 minute on IGTVs and Reels. Right now, the only thing that is able to be auto-posted are posts, static posts to the feed, or video posts that are less than 1 minute long. And what you can see here, these different times are what Planoly believes to be the most popular times for my account, my followers on my account. And I apologize if you hear crumbling in the background. My cat, Betty, loves to sit on plastic bags. So that's what she's doing right now. And she's 14. I don't have a say in this anymore, so we just got to kind of work around it. The times that are in gray are ones that have not yet been, time slots that have not yet been filled. And the ones that are white are posts that are already scheduled. Now, the thing that I don't love about Planoly with this is that they don't show you which posts are scheduled. So if you have like a theme that you do where, let's say, one post is a picture of you and another post is a picture of your product, and you have this sort of pattern, it's very difficult to figure out which ones have already been scheduled if you don't do it all at the same time. So I wish that they had little thumbnails or something here that would make it a little bit easier. That's just one little frustration I have with Planoly. And now if you go over here, you can also see the record of posts that you have already posted and ones that have not posted effectively. If there was an issue or if it was scheduled to, it wasn't scheduled to auto post, like you can see one of these is a carousel that I was supposed to post and didn't, then that's what the red square with the S is, just showing me that there was a post that hadn't gone live even though it was scheduled, and I need to look into that. Now, one thing I wish Planoly would do in addition to the thumbnails is I wish it would give you the ability to regram your old posts, especially if they're popular or if there's something that you would want to keep promoting. Like if there's an event you're doing or a sale or things like that, it would be much easier, in my opinion, to get the posts that you've already done and kind of recycle them or rehash them. And Planoly currently doesn't do that. As you can see, there's no real option for me to regram these, but you can also see the hearts and the number of comments. So if you're looking for like a quick idea as to which posts have been really popular, then they give you just this quick run over, but their analytics we'll cover in a minute. So the second part that I really like about Planoly is the hashtag repository that I'm able to keep. I'm able to make multiple groups of hashtags that are appropriate for different posts. So you see here I have a couple that are related to blogging, a couple that are related to books when I'm promoting my book. If I'm talking to entrepreneurs, there's a whole bunch that I like to keep. And the reason that I like this so much is because I don't have to copy and paste everything every time. I can just have easy access to this. Okay, so let me show you how a post works in Planoly. I love their drag and drop feature that makes it very easy for me. And one thing that I especially appreciate is first post comments, or first comment, I guess. It's the same thing. So first comments are just after the caption, the comment that comes first after that. So that is really good for hashtags, or if you want to have a comment that you plan on pinning or something like that. I don't think you can pin your own comments right now, but if you could, that would be a good way to do it. But it's also really good for, Betty's scratching. It's also really good for hashtags. And so if I just click here, I can access my hashtag repository and just click and add it. I don't have to copy and paste. It doesn't get into the caption. It makes life really easy. Next up is the Discover feature, and I don't really use this a lot, but I know that it is popular for accounts that do meme posts or that want to have just multiple content sources if they're feeling like they're running out of ideas, or they want to regram and kind of create a community. This Discover feature is really cool for that. So you can search by users if you want to regram a certain user, hashtags, and you can get their free stock photos. So I'm just going to show you how this works. We'll just do girl boss. And all right, let me try it without the hashtag. Maybe that's the problem. Taking a minute. Okay, and there we go. So these are all posts that have been tagged with the hashtag girlboss. And so all I do is click this and then add the credit of who I got this from, so that hopefully they'll regram me or, just start a community. And then I can schedule it or save it into my drafts. Now we can also go into their free stock library, which I'm not sure where they get their stocks from, but let's look for a couple. You see, there's not a lot of options here, so I wouldn't rely on their stock photo repository for a ton of content. But if you're in a bind, it's probably pretty useful to have. So just here's a female blogger talking about blog stuff, and I can either quick schedule it to post to times that Planoly feels are most popular for me, or just schedule it on my own. So next, let's go to their analytics. And as a marketer, analytics are super important for me. I feel like when marketing just becomes this black hole of I don't know what's working and I don't know what I'm doing, I'm able to look at analytics and see definitively if something is working or it isn't. The numbers don't lie. So let me just refresh this to the most recent. And you can see here, so location, the type of posts that get the best engagement or impressions, I can check those all. And you can see the percentages change here. I think this is just for the past week. And you can check stories. I don't really post a lot of stories. My profile visits over the past week, and averages. So it's a pretty good, robust analytics system that Planoly has. And it's really helpful for people who are looking for insights. And if you're a blogger who needs this kind of data when you're pitching brands for sponsorships. So now these are all the posts that I have done over the past week, and just gives me a quick run over of what has been popular and what hasn't been popular. Not what hasn't been popular, but just gives me a quick run over so I can see like, okay, the quotes that I'm doing for my podcast seem to be going over well, and the picture of me with the books is not going that well. And then I can change it to engagement, which is especially important if you're pitching for sponsored brands. Impressions, if you are doing a really dedicated push to get the algorithm's favor as much as possible, then impressions is going to be an important statistic for you to keep an eye out on. Next, let's go to comments, and Planoly allows you the ability to reply to comments right on their platform, so you don't really have to use the app at all. And you can see over here, it shows me the number of comments that have been posted, including my own. So we will just reply to this one really quickly to show you how it works. So I'll just add a little emoji. And hit that. And there you go. So that one is all set, and you can scroll through. Next, let's talk about Link It or Shop It. I'm not sure what they call it. Link It, they call it Shop Link. I'm not really sure what the official term is, but Shop Link is the newest baby behind Planoly, and it is their app that allows you to have a shoppable grid as your link on Instagram. So I'm just going to show you how this works really quickly. So here are my most recent posts. I can click and add them to my shop. Yeah, drag and drop doesn't really work here, but drag and drop will work for the featured items. So if I have like a sale that's going on or something like that, I can drag those posts up to my featured. Seems to be a little bit wonky where you have to kind of give it some time. And then that way I can have a specific call out for those. And now I can add a redirect to the product or the service that I want, and Shop Link will create that for me. So let me show you what this looks like just as a preview. And you can see there's the featured ones, there's the rest of the grid. And I like that they have it previewed in different formats so that you can see how this is going to work across the board, which is especially important if you have an e-commerce site. Here you can also add a couple of different callout links, but if you notice when I'm typing this, one, I can't type correctly, and two, it has a certain cutoff. So check out the podcasts instead of podcast. That is just through their cutoff, and I could count those numbers, but I don't know. Just, I would say try it out and see what works best for you. But let's add this call out button here. I can't even type my own name, you guys. Now on this side, I want to show you the cool thing about ShopLink is that you can accept payments through this app. It can set up, I believe, with Stripe and PayPal. I'm not 100% on that because I believe that they're changing it, or it's constantly updating. But I think that you can accept payments directly through this and have your own e-commerce site without needing specifically like a Shopify or eBay or Etsy store. So that's a really cool feature, especially for those influencers who are looking to kind of expand their brand but aren't ready to invest in things like Shopify. And let me just show you what this looks like with the button. And there you go. So you can see that actually removes the featured. I can either have the top 3 featured, or the carousel of featured items, or I can have a link. I can't have both. And I can also change the colors and make sure that it just fits my branding. So there you go. That is Planoly. Next, let's cover Plann. And when I had originally done the first video and blog post about Instagram schedulers, Plann was my runner-up because they had incredibly cool features, but they did not have auto post capabilities. So now that they do have auto post capabilities, let's dive in and see what's happened since then. I have a free trial of their paid plan on this right now. So we're going to actually look at what the paid plans cover for you. So let me just log in. And this is just the quick tutorial. And yes, I know I'm starting my trial. So what we're going to do right now is connect one brand to this, or one account. And all you have to do for this is just link up your Facebook account and have it connect to the page and the Instagram account that's relevant. Now, because of this, since I'm just linking this for the first time, we're not going to get a ton of analytics out of this. So I'm going to show you a little bit of a workaround on that to give you, just so you can see what actually, what analytics look like here. And okay, so you can see here the features that are very cool that I look for are drag and drop, bulk upload, auto post, and carousel features. So I'm going to show you just how this works. You can drag and drop here into the feed so you can check and see how your feed's going to look, or you can drag and drop it into this post template here. And let me give it some time to load. You can see the blue bar up under the URL, seeing when it's loading. Okay, so let me just click edit on one and show you what this looks like. And they have first post comment now, which is super cool. They have hashtag sets, which, you know, is a requirement for me. And now let me show you what their calendar feature looks like. It's, in my opinion, much better than Planoly's because you see these little thumbnails. So you know what's already being scheduled. You're not double dipping, posting 2 podcast episodes or anything like that. You're able to keep just a quick visual of what's going out and what you'll need to pay attention to. So I like this one much better than I do Planoly's. Let me just show you how collection works. Now here is the, I guess, Discover version of Plann, where you can source different images. They don't seem to have the public feed of images from other users like Planoly has, but they do have multiple stock photo repositories and the ability to create something quickly in Canva and have it load into your Plann account. So let me just show you what this looks like for Girl Boss. All right, there's just that one. And then I could check Pixabay and Unsplash too, but I'm just showing you how this works quickly. And now let's go over to Canva. Again, they have an integration, so this is right on desktop. And here I can drag and drop images. I can change the colors to match my brand style. And if this was something that I was ready to post or wanted to schedule, I could do that right here through Plann. So that's a really cool feature. You don't have to go off of Plann to get all of this done for you. You can just do it right in the app. And now hashtags. Now, this is something that I'm actually really sad to learn, but let me cover this in. Let me get to what I'm talking about first. So you can create your own sets of hashtags like I was talking about on Planoly too, where you have these different groupings of hashtags that you can add to your captions or to your first post comment. But here is something that seems to be left over from their old interface, I guess, that doesn't exist anymore. One of the reasons I loved Plann so much, and the reason that it was the runner-up for me, is because their hashtag research was really clutch. They had these different color-coded hashtags that would give you an idea of what you could use to create just a really well-rounded set of hashtags. You know, you could mix up with some that were the orange ones that were really popular and some that were sky blue, so that you knew that you were going to get a lot of exposure from those since they were so niche. Unfortunately, they don't seem to have this feature anymore. They say to search for hashtags, you have to actually go over to Instagram. So I'm not sure when this went away, if it's coming back. I hope that it is, because their hashtag research was incredibly clutch. Now, this is, speaking of strategy, this is such a good feature and really interesting to me. Plann has what they consider to be different ideas for strategies. So if you're trying to figure out what to post, what kind of strategy is going to work best for your business, they have a set of templates for a ton of different options. So let me show you just content prompts that they have. So if I want to host a giveaway, if I'm doing something for the season, running a sale, I am running a sale with an extended offer. And also they have different plan ideas for niches. So artist, beverage, family, fashion, food. Look at all of these things that they have set up for you to give you a guide on what would successfully create a good content strategy for you. So I'm going to scroll down to coaching. And what you'll see is I can add these all to my grid, and all I got to do is just replace these with the thing that it's going to be. So client transformation, I would add a client transformation post here. What I also love about Plann is they, like Planoly, they have the your best times to post, but they also have a really interesting feature of when your audience is most online. So if your best times to post and when your audience is mostly online are different, it's going to be another variable that you can test in your marketing to see which is better for your Instagram account. And I think it's really interesting. So now let's go to their analytics. And like I said, since my account on here is new, I don't have any analytics for them to report, but I realized that I had an old Instagram account that was on Plann that was still recording data. So we're going to switch over to that one. And this is a free version. I don't know if there's any difference between the paid analytics and the free analytics yet, but this is a free version of their analytics. So here you can see they have my most recent posts, the number of impressions, the reach, whether it's been increasing or decreasing, best performing palette, which I don't post enough on this old account for that to be, I guess, a data point for me, and my engagement rate. But if we scroll down, you can also see posts from my stories, again, the impressions and the reach. Always really good to know for when you're collaborating with brands and trying to pitch brands for sponsored posts. The completion rate is also a really interesting metric that I'm glad that they offer. And then I can go into activity where you can see my engagement rate, best times to post when my followers are online versus my engagement rate. And it's interesting that those are sort of different. It's just a really cool data point for me to look at. And you can see, again, this is a pretty much dead account, so I don't really have a lot of things on here, but you can get a quick run over of what this would look like for your account. And again, the palettes are here, which I think is incredibly interesting and really good for brands who are trying to create a certain aesthetic. And whether it's your brand colors or, fashion photography or things like that, this is a really interesting data point to have. And I wish I could show you a little bit more about it, but unfortunately, I don't really have any sort of post that would work for that. And like Planoly, Plann also has the reply feature. So I can go and based on either comments or mentions, I can go here and reply to any posts or any comments that have been made. So now let's talk pricing. And the good news, I guess, is that overall they are priced about the same. So if you have just one brand, one Instagram account, LinkedIn, or Facebook, you can just go for the power user, which is just $7 a month. Whereas if you need multiples, then I would recommend the build plan, which is $15 a month. However, there is a way to save a couple of bucks here. Now, if you don't need multiple team members, I would suggest using the power user and just add a brand for $7 a month. This ends up being $168 a year. And here's all of the different features that you'll get with the paid plan. If you need an app that uses Pinterest, then Plann is not for you. Planoly has Pinterest features, but I feel like, just my personal opinion, Tailwind is like the Mac Daddy. Like, they cannot be beat when it comes to Pinterest. So I don't even use Planoly's Pinterest capabilities. So I can't say whether that's worth it for you. If you have a Pinterest account, I recommend using Tailwind above all of these. And furthermore, I don't really recommend using Tailwind for Instagram. I think that we'll talk about this later, but I think that if you are serious about your brand and marketing it, then you need to get apps that are dedicated to doing that thing and not a jack of all trades. I feel like it's more of just a stopgap than an actual strategy. Now for Planoly, they have the same pricing structure: 2 social profiles, 1 Instagram and 1 Pinterest for $7 a month. So if you have a Facebook strategy or a LinkedIn strategy, Planoly is not going to be for you. You should go with Plann because those are the platforms that Plann focuses on. Again, I don't know a lot about Planoly's Pinterest feature because I don't use it. I've tried it and it just didn't seem to work out the way that Tailwind does. So I don't recommend it for Pinterest. This would be solely for Instagram. So if I have only 1 Instagram account that I'm working with, I would just go with the solo plan. And again, I can't do 2 Instagram accounts. It's 1 Instagram account and 1 Pinterest account. For the record, I have a duo account with them. I have 2 social profiles for each, but like I said, I only use Instagram. So I have 2 Instagram accounts linked. Now, the reason I was saying I feel like it's advantageous to hack, I guess, the Plann system is because if you go with the duo feature here or the build plan on Plann, that ends up being $180 a year. So you're saving yourself $12, $1 a month, which I know is not a big deal, but every little bit helps by doing that. And if you don't need multiple team members, which I have team members, but we all use a password manager, so they don't really need their own accounts, Plann's single feature would work best for me. All right, so let's recap. Here are the things that I need in an Instagram scheduler. I need auto post capabilities because I don't want to be the one that's responsible for making sure the content goes live. I have too much to do. I know you do too. So what we need is auto post capabilities. I need bulk upload features. I need drag and drop just to be able to upload a bunch of stuff at the same time. Doing 1 upload at a time is really tedious and I don't recommend it. So bulk upload features and drag and drop are really good for me. I need powerful analytics. As a marketer, I need to know what's working and what isn't. And I need both first comment and hashtag repository just to keep it clean and more organized. So what is my pick? It's actually Plann. While I have a Planoly account and will keep it because I've paid for the year, I feel that Plann is the more robust platform for a person like me and a business like mine. I like their strategy layout. I like their analytics. I like that they now have auto post capabilities. So that's my recommendation. I like Planoly. They were with me through thick and thin, but in terms of what I need for an Instagram strategy, I'm going with Plann. Now, let me know in the comments what you think. If you think that Planoly is going to be better for you, or if you're going with Team Plann with me, I'd love to hear your feedback on this. Next week, we're going Planoly versus Later or Latergram, and we will do a deep dive into that. So I will talk to you soon, but leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this, and we'll discuss. Take care.